September is Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month, and the county is shining a spotlight on the fight by lighting buildings in teal. Joining us now to talk about ovarian cancer warning signs and how you can honor the woman in your life who's been bravely facing this disease is Hillary Thingston. She's the executive director of the ovarian cancer nonprofit called Clearity. First of all, Hillary, thank you so much for coming on the floor.
Oh, thank you so much for coming, for having us, and for helping us to raise awareness of ovarian cancer during September.
Such an important cause, yes. And talk about Clearity. What is Clearity for people who may not be familiar with the organization?
So we're an advocacy organization. We help women and families who've been impacted by an ovarian cancer diagnosis. We support women and families throughout the country. So we help people understand what their treatment options are to make the most informed treatment decision that they can. All of our services are provided free of charge, and we help with emotional support and other kinds of support. This can be a really tough diagnosis to hear, and so we want to help women and families really walk this path on their own terms.
For a long time, that was a very tough diagnosis, as you mentioned, because sadly the survival rates after a number of years can be relatively low compared to other cancers. Have we made any headway in that, or where are they now?
You know, we have, but it's true to say that ovarian cancer hasn't made as much progress as other cancer types. Something that I always like to remind people is that 10-year survival rates are 10 years out of date. So a lot of the newer drugs that have been introduced, you're not seeing the benefit of those drugs yet reflected in the 10-year survival rates. So there have been some encouraging new drug introductions, and we always like to remind people that the drugs of the future are being tested in clinical trials today. And Clearity can help patients and families identify clinical trials that might be a really promising treatment option.
Yeah, and connecting those dots for families,
exactly.
It does give them some hope and definitely some promise.
Sure.
What are warning signs for women out there, for family members to be able to tell a loved one in their life about?
Yeah, well, so the warning signs, as you mentioned, are kind of vague. They include bloating, abdominal pain, feeling full, urinary urgency sometimes. So they're kind of this vague constellation of symptoms that a lot of women tell us they can complain about in any given week. So what we like to tell people is no one knows your body as well as you do. So if something doesn't feel right, it's really important to be an advocate for yourself and to persist in making sure that you're satisfied that your concerns and your symptoms have been adequately addressed. Unfortunately, we're catching ovarian cancer late in the disease course. So most women are diagnosed in stage 3 and stage 4, and that's when it's harder to treat. So the earlier you can detect any kind of cancer, really, the better. So be vigilant about those signs and symptoms.
We're almost out of time here, and I really want to get to the Teal Women's Celebration, which is coming up on the 18th of this month. This is an opportunity to sort of share information, gather folks together, and most importantly, recognize who's your Teal woman. What is that?
So this is a recognition program that we have throughout the country. People can nominate themselves, or you can nominate a loved one, and we're going to be doing a broadcast event on September 22nd where we recognize all of those submissions. Hundreds of submissions have been pouring in, and so if there's a woman or in your life who's been impacted by ovarian cancer and you want to honor her, you can go to Clarity's website, clarity.org. We're also going to be gathering in person on September 18th at the Grand Del Mar, so anyone who's local here in San Diego, would love for you to join us. It's not too late to buy tickets. You can go to our website to do that too.
Such an important cause. Hillary Thingston, Executive Director of Clearity, thank you so much for coming on the show and for sharing this information with our viewers. I do want to share one more time, if you were interested in the Teal Women's Celebration, again, it's happening on Sunday, September 18th. The Fairmont Grand Del Mar will be the location. It's 5 to 9 p.m. And for more information, go to clarityfoundation.org. Thank you again for the work you're doing right here in our community.
Thanch you so much for helping us to raise awareness this month.
We'll shine
really
that teal light
throughout the night.